All right, guys, so I'm pretty much back at the house. I had to work today and it was a pretty long day. If you guys haven't noticed by now, I'm still doing the car thing. Technically working at a car dealership. They specialize in Mazda cars and Volkswagens. So here it is. I got the piece hooked up. I end up using these connectors. Right now, what I'm pretty much getting ready to do is flip the fuel tank from this position being up here and this position being down here. I have this fuel gauge tool, which is like to choke it and just feed the carburetor tons of fuel. And that pretty much feeds into, let me show you guys. Pretty much feeds into this piece here and you just twist it in. So right now what I'm getting ready to do is set up the fuel, which I already have it hooked up. So with that being said, grab out some cutters here and flip the fuel tank and reposition it and set it up. That way when the fuel runs, this thing will be down. Because honestly, what I've noticed, if the fuel starts getting low and this thing is all the way up here, the fuel's not gonna make it up here. Like if the fuel just start running low in the tank, that's why I'm flipping this the other way. So if the fuel's low, it'll feed every last drop to the carburetor, to the motor, etc. That's why I'm making the changes of flipping this the other way. So I'll be back in a second, guys, once I got this all situated. And I'm gonna show you guys exactly step by step what I'm gonna be doing. So I'll be back. Gotta cut the camera, get some materials out and tools and things that I'll need. I'll be back. All right, so I got these wire cutters, pretty much getting ready to undo what I did. Pretty much getting ready to cut these zip ties to flip it. That's the first one. Second. Okay, so I got the fuel system free. Now what I'm pretty much getting ready to do, it is flip it this way. And I'm gonna have it somewhat situated something like this. So I'll be back in a second, guys, once I make up my final adjustments on this. All right, so what I'm pretty much getting ready to do is set up the fuel system exactly how I'm gonna have it. Kind of got this thing already set up. Take this, twist it into the fuel tank. This lever. All right, so what I'm pretty much doing is I'm setting up the fuel system. This is pretty much how I got it going. I got like a rubber tube here, another rubber tube there, and these little fasteners. These are actually washer fluid hood sprayers that I got in between here, and I got another rubber tubing. I was gonna do something where I just used one of these, actually two of these, and then another rubber tubing in the middle, but I just thought like, hey, Might as well just connect these, and this will work perfectly fine, right? Just like this. And I should prevent any leaks. What I plan on doing is, so I basically got the rubber tubing all the way down till it stops. I'm thinking about buying like some clamps to clamp this down to prevent like any leaks. So from there, I'm gonna grab the fuel tank system, feed this fuel feeder adjuster in here, like so. And then after it's tightened, pretty much, set it up over by the bike, have it flip this way. I was gonna run it, and still it's too short. But I do have like some extra tubing laying around somewhere. Probably just gonna see if I can find it laying around in some of my stuff, so I'll be back in a second. So, as a guy who's been working on cars for so long, I've came across the perfect thing to use for fuel system running. It's like some plastic tubing. So pretty much what I'm getting ready to do is set this thing up exactly what's gonna work best. And obviously what I came to conclusion is this piece right here, I won't be using. I'll probably just end up cutting this and connecting these two just like so. Should go over it perfectly. And you know what? It works. It fed right into it. May have to work it over it a little bit more, but it definitely works. So as you guys can see, got it connected. So from there, I'm gonna have this flip just like this. This here. This on here. That. And then from there, I'll use this. I could just do something like, actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this and go through here. I got an idea, I'll be back in a second. So I'm next to the bike right now. What I'm actually working on is the fuel system still. And I'm just trying to figure out the best way to have this ran. I could do something like where this tubing, I'm gonna have it cut about right here. So let me make a cut. So I pretty much got the tubing cut. So what I'm thinking about doing is possibly still using I probably still won't end up using that. I'll probably just use, where's these things right here. These are actual things that I bought at the hardware store earlier. So what I'm thinking about doing is using one of these at least, because these are like skinnier. These are too small. I only have one of the bigger ones left. So what I'm actually gonna do, because I see that this tubing here can fit over these pieces. So I'll be back in a second. I'm basically about to flip these two ends, like bring this tubing here, right there, and take this tubing right here and put it on this plastic piece. So that's basically how I'm about to end up doing this. So here it goes, the old switcheroo. Should definitely work. And from there, I pretty much got this as close as it's gonna get for the most part. And from there, I'm going to put this in here. So let me pull this one off, since that's easier to put on. Give it a little bit of moisture on it to help it slide a little bit better. I pretty much got that down all the way to here. Just needs a clamp. Now take these two right here and just reconnect them. So with that being said, I got fuel coming from here all the way back to the carburetor. Now, one thing that I may end up adjusting is the fuel, how I have it ran. So I may end up doing something like this instead, because I just want to make sure it's working properly. So pretty much what I'm about to do is just unloosen this a second time. I just want to view like all my options of how I want to have this ran and what's going to work the best. So this is going to be down like this. It's going to be down something like this. Like that. So I may end up doing this like this. This down like that. And then back into the housing like this. Just like that. I feel like this is the best way for it to be, actually, just like that. feel like this should definitely work. Like, it's not kinked too much. It's like the perfect loop. Only thing now is I have to figure out the best way to mount the fuel system. So what I'm gonna end up doing for this, so it's not so wobbly, put these all the way down so they stop, like that. At this point, I just want it to run, and then I could just continue changing things and making adjustments and changing up how I want it to lay. I mean, the fuel tank, I could always change something about it. Like, I could try something different, like welding this to the bars or whatever I want to do. But for right now, plan is just to get it moving, and like the plan is just to get it moving and operating at this point. So these are all the way down. These are all the way down as far as I can get them hand tightened. So pretty much what I'm about to do now is just zip tie it back in place. And then these two, obviously I would probably zip tie these two into place as well, just to keep them secure where it's not bouncing around on the bike. So here it goes. Okay, the top is pretty much secured in place. Now I kind of want to have this centered so it kind of looks, you know, decent. Testing out the steering on it while I'm putting stuff into place just to make sure everything's operating smoothly. Which it still is. And just like that, this thing is, the fuel tank is more secured in place. As I was stating, it's perfect. So the only thing really left to do now is obviously cut this here so it's not hanging out to the side. Ouch. Damn it, where's those wire cutters? I ended up pricking my finger on this the other day because I didn't have this thing zip tied in, but so now what I'm gonna end up doing is just cutting that. So I'll be back in a second. So I just cleaned this up a little bit. I end up cutting some of those wires that were kind of like out. Those two, they were like not with the thread of the wire anymore, so I just snipped those. Kind of just going around cleaning up stuff right now on how it's set up, cutting all these excess zip ties. Probably leave those in place because they're just kind of just like not even visible really. This thing here is set up properly. This thing's taped off and grounded. Pretty much at this point, I'm probably ready to start adding fuel to the bike. So what I'm about to do now is grab some fuel. crack this open. Put some fuel in here. See if it actually feeds through the lines back to the carburetor. But first things first, before I do anything else, throw these away. I don't want nobody steps on them. I just caught one of them in my finger. First things first. First things first, I gotta tighten this carburetor down before I even put the fuel in there. And before I even do that, came with the gasket. Can't forget that. So let me unloosen this. Oh, the seat's in the way. So I'll have to unloosen the seat in order to free that up. So I'll be back, guys, when I got the seat off. So I'm pretty much dialing everything down on the bike. This thing here was slightly loose, like there was play in it. It was moving around, so I knew that this wasn't like all the way tight and secure. Pretty much just putting my last couple turns on there with a hand wrench. And that should be good. It's nice and tight. It's not moving around like how it was before. And grab our carburetor. Grab the gasket. Pop that down in the hole. Pretty sure that's what that's for. Pretty much filling in the last. Oh, I just dropped the gasket, guys. That easy if you're not paying attention. I'm kind of working in the dark, and luckily I was watching. Drop the gasket and the carburetor. I got the gasket. I'll pop that in there just like that. And from there, after you got the gasket in there, just bring it back to the housing, just like that. Gasket's in. Last thing we have to do is just tighten this down. And we should be ready to start it. It's not going anywhere. It's tight and secure. Got my fuel line running. Only thing left to do now is probably just put one zip tie about right here. Right there in that spot for the clutch. See how that just looks so much cooler sideways? I mean, it's a lot of wiring right there, but it's a BMX bike. Not too many ways you can run this, because it's like I got the exhaust down here. There's gonna be tons of heat down there, and I just want this thing functioning. And like right now, I'm turning the wheel and it's snagging, so I may have to make this piece, I may have to make this tubing a little longer. Good thing I have a ton of it. So basically, what I'm gonna actually do is measure what's on here and then go like the tube. It's probably about here to there, so probably cut it back here somewhere so it frees up a little less. So it frees up a little less tug on the tubing that's right here, because it's snagging it. So I'll be back in a second. Just give me one moment and I'm gonna switch this out. All right, guys, so I'm back. I just took a quick measurement of the first tube that was on here. Obviously it was the shorter one. And this is the bigger one that I'm going to be using above it. That way I got a little bit extra clearance from when I'm steering the wheel and everything, or not the wheel, the handlebars. I'm steering the handlebars. It's not doing so much tugging on this one that's connected to the carburetor. So what I'm actually doing right now is just reconnecting everything that was already connected. And just making some adjustments as I build, basically. So out with the old and with the new. All right, guys, after a few long 3 or 4 weeks, this is where we are. We finally made it. Last thing to install on this thing is literally the seat and the oil cap after I top off the fuel into the fuel tank. I don't have anything other than the 2-cycle 50-to-1 ratio, but this is all I got for right now. I really just want to see how it starts, runs, and just works. So here it is, adding my first fuel to it. I probably should be doing this outside, but it is what it is. Not leaking anymore, and she's pulling fuel. You see, it's like it started, it's going here from the filter going back to the carburetor. You can see it right there. So I'll be back in a second, guys. Let me just test this out. What is up, viewers and subscribers? Welcome back to the series of building motorized BMX, episode 3. So pretty much what we're pretty much getting ready to do. I had some issues with the chain, and I'm getting ready to make some modifications. Gotta cut off some stuff. So the issue is when I had the chain ran, it was coming in contact with numerous things on the bike. So pretty much what I'm getting ready to do is cut off the brakes, and what I may end up having to do is just buy like a brake kit and reset it up and do it some other fashionable way. I may even set up brakes in the front somehow, but let me just show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So when I had the chain set up on here, up something like this. something. So what I'm getting ready to do is just cut this bracket right here off. So the rear brakes on both sides. Obviously I'll have to set this up some different other type of way. I'm pretty sure I've seen it where you could set the brake line up here and have it just fastened into place somehow, and then from there it should be functioning. So here it goes. So right now I got this thing set up to be a cutting wheel. Now I'm changing this out right here to be a grinder. Just like that. It's ready to start cleaning up surfaces, like this area here, the other side. What I may end up doing is taking off the back wheel. That way I can smoothen things out evenly. So here it goes. I'll be back once the wheel's off. Close up at the results. As you guys can see, this thing is pretty much where I need it to be. Now let's flip the bike over, grind down the other side, put the wheel back on, and start setting up the chain pretty much. Alright guys, so I pretty much just grinded down both sides. The side where the chain was running for the motor, which is the left side of the bike, pretty much just filed it down as close as possible. I didn't want to file it down too much to go in the depth of dealing with like ruining the structure of the bike. This side I pretty much smoothed down just about the same. What I may end up doing is just blacking it, clear coating it, make it look like nothing was ever done. Let's set the bike up, that position, put the wheel back on, and do some testing. What I'm actually doing is putting a hole right here somewhere. Now this thing here goes inside this piece. And this is the thing that creates like the spin and the part itself. So I got this on here, and then I want to make sure I kind of got enough clearance to use all 4 holes to clamp this down into place. So pretty much what I'm doing is I'm sizing this up. May have to go like somewhere like right there, this hole. And after I actually make the hole, it's only gonna be about this big. So I may end up needing a couple more drill bits, which I have a ton of those. So what I'm actually doing is I'm just kind of marking the this up to see what's gonna be like the best option for this to actually even work. Right about there, right there. So just lift this slowly, and my hole should be somewhere right in here. Somewhere right there. So I'm pretty much gonna get ready to drill this hole here and to create a hole big enough for this screw right here to go through it. And from there, obviously the mount's gonna go right here. That way both chains could flow past each other smoothly. That's basically the plan. So hopefully this works. Let's try it. This thing is a forever project. So right now, as you can see, the chain is kind of getting there. It's kind of close. And from the looks of it, I may have to slice off this or file this down. Probably cut it and file it, test fit it. But from the looks of it, once this thing is actually custom fit, the chain should run under this piece here. And it should be clear of everything because I just tested it here. And then this top chain will probably lightly sag slightly, sitting right on top of the spinner. So this should definitely work. I don't see why it wouldn't. So here we go with grinding, cutting, and filing. Here we go. All right, guys, we're back. Tons of progress. Tons of progress. I pretty much figured this thing out at this point after doing that modification. So basically the chain, this thing is gonna go here. The chain tensioner, and then from there, this bottom chain, the top is already sitting where it's gonna be. This bottom chain is gonna be ran like under the tensioner, just like that. And I may come up with it a little bit more, like somewhere like right. Let me see. It's gonna be like somewhere right here. I literally just had this thing set up so perfect. Somewhere right, was it here? Nope. It's like one away. So let me do like this. It was like, it's like 2 links away, which is right here on that spot. So basically this tensioner is gonna go right here. It clears. I'll give you guys a close up. So here's pretty much the close up on the tensioner. As you guys can see, it's going under. There's tons of clearance for that top chain to not come in contact with anything. Only thing left to do now at this point is just make the chain about 2 links long. So what I'm gonna end up doing, I think I just need 2 links at this point. That's what it's pretty much looking like. Unless this top chain will let me get one more out of it. And nope, it's touching the frame right here. So I can only get it like right here. and it clears everything in here. But guess what? That may be perfect. That may be perfect after we put that one on there. Let's find out, shall we? I'll be back in a second. All right, guys, fingers crossed. I'm really hoping that I got this thing established on where it's gonna be. So basically, I'm just gonna have to add in 2 more links, and then the chain tensioner is gonna have to go right about here. All right, guys, so I'm pretty much just about completed this thing. Last thing really left to do is put in this connector here, and from there all I would have to do is just bring this tensioner down to, obviously you see these 2 chains are running into each other. So once I fasten this into place, I should be able to just unloosen the chain tensioner, which is this piece here in the center, and from there this piece here will slide down slightly. I don't have to bring it down a ton. I have to bring it down a ton, but just enough to free up these chains from running into each other. So this is just some tweaking going on here. So let me do this first. And I figured out the problem with the chain tensioner. I had it back here somewhere, and the chain was running into these bolts in the back, so I end up sliding it up about right here. It's coming together. Trust me, guys, it's gonna work out, and it's getting there. It just takes time and stuff like this. All right, guys, so I pretty much got everything hooked up with the Mongoose BMX bike for the most part. Chain is connected to basically where it's gonna be. May have to do some tweaking with this. Spark plugs in. Fuel is set up. Fuel tank is readjusted. Apparently, this line can't be running up and over the handlebars. It doesn't have a fuel pump. So apparently, you gotta have it straight to the carburetor, which is right there. Chain is hooked up. It's not touching much of anything. I may have to make some light adjustments to it, but for the most part, it's hooked up. Now the thing is, when I came across today, when I was trying to pedal this thing, apparently this bushing down here is touching the spindle, and it's preventing the wheel from actually spinning. So what I may end up doing is, it's mostly on this side over here. You kind of can see that it's touching. There's no gap how it is over there. It's literally touching it. So what I may end up doing is removing this piece again, filing down the inside of the hole just to make it a little wider, and I should take care of the sticking wheel, because basically what happened was I would remove this chain, pedal the bike, and it pedaled perfectly fine, nothing was going on. The second I hooked this back up, it was acting like the back wheel didn't want to spin. So I'll catch you guys in our next video. I'll take care of that, and next video I definitely will be starting this thing for the first time. Stay tuned for that. Peace.